we're going to do some cat-cows. So slide your hands down to your knees and then try to pull your knees toward you, and just notice what happens in your spine as you do that. Your chest will start to lift, the front of the spine will lengthen, and let the gaze go up to be an extension of the lift in the chest. And then press your knees forward with your hands and notice what happens with the spine. And let your head go down and look towards your belly button. So now we're going to add in the breath. As you inhale, draw the knees toward you. The chest will expand to receive the inhale. And as you exhale, round the spine, emptying out the breath. And you can look towards the belly button, which is moving in towards your spine as you exhale. Let's do that a few more rounds. Inhale, coming into cow pose, lifting the chest and the gaze. Exhale, moving into cat pose and looking towards your belly button. So do that on your own. Find your own pace for your inhales and your exhales. Good. And then come to a neutral place. So sit up nice and tall, slide your hands back towards your belly, and close the eyes for a moment and observe the effects of the movement and the rhythmic, steady breathing. Good. So we always start our sessions with some breathing and movement because, as you may be noticing, it helps to focus and quiet the mind and bring the attention to breath. Now open the eyes, and we're going to explore changing the breath a little bit on purpose. So with intention, we're going to set a pattern for our breathing. And again, as we do it and after we do it, we're going to observe how it makes us feel. So the first breath pattern we're going to do is counting in for 5, holding for 5, exhaling for 5, and keeping the breath out, holding the breath out for 5. Now, that's going to be the suggestion, but if holding the breath that long is too difficult, just hold it for as long as is comfortable. It might be the count of 1 or the count of 2. And then exhale the air out and see how long you can hold the breath out. Again, the suggestion is 5, but maybe that's not comfortable for you. We don't want to create stress by doing something that's beyond our limits. So the suggestion is box breathing with all 4 parts of the breath the same length, but adjust as needed for you, okay? And it's up to you if you keep the eyes open or closed, but if the eyes are open, you can look at me if you want, but you could also just look down in front of you, and focusing the gaze like that helps to increase concentration as well. So here we go. We're going to breathe in for, I'll count from 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath out. 2, 3, 4, 5. You can adjust as needed. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold the breath out. 2, 3, 4, 5. So continue on your own. 2 more rounds. Adjust as needed. But let that breathing pattern go and just breathe naturally. But maybe you discover that after slowing down the breath, adding in the pauses, creating perhaps more length in the breath, that your natural breath may now be a little different than it was before. So just see if that's the case. There's no right or wrong answer. And then close the eyes for a moment and just observe the mind. What's the state of your mind right now? Good. And then open the eyes again. We're going to try one more breathing pattern. And this is called alternate nostril breathing. And there's a special hand position for this. It's a yogic breath. But today we're just going to use our index finger to switch sides. And we can talk about this later, but this is an experiment. So bring your index finger up on the right side of the nose, but don't touch the nose yet. We're going to breathe in through both nostrils. And then close the right nostril just lightly and breathe out the left. And again, you can look at me or you can lower your gaze or close the eyes. And then inhale through the left. A little pause at the top and switch sides. Close the left and breathe out the right. Breathe in the right. Pause. Switch and breathe out the left. Breathe in the left. Pause. Breathe out the right. Breathe in the right. Pause, and again you can adjust the length as needed. Breathe out the left. Just a couple more rounds. Breathe in the left. Pause. Breathe out the right. Breathe in the right. Pause. Breathe out the left. Breathe in the left. Pause. Last exhale, breathe out the right. Release your hands to your lap. Close the eyes. And again, see how you feel. Does the way you feel now differ from how you felt after the box breathing or not? It can be very subtle, so don't worry if you can't tell. We're just checking in, experimenting a little bit, getting familiar with the breath and how our body and mind respond when we change the breath. Now, you can keep your eyes closed if you like. We're going to move into our meditation. And we'll begin with the sound of the bell. So letting go of any intention to change the breath, and instead just recognize the breath the way it is. Your natural breath. To help get in tune with the breath, let's put one hand on the belly button and one hand on the center of the chest. And just feel the breath rising and falling beneath your hands. Just notice whether the lower hand is moving more with the breath or the upper hand. And for one person it might be the lower hand, for one person it might be the upper hand. Just see for yourself. Maybe the two hands are moving evenly. And notice which hand moves first. Does the lower hand move first or the upper hand move first? Is there a pause at the very bottom of the exhale before you breathe in? Is there a pause at the top of the inhale before you breathe out? Does it seem like when you bring your awareness to the breath that the breath changes? Some of us have a habit of trying to change the breath. It's just a habit. We don't even notice we're doing it. So if you feel like you're trying to control, see if you can let go of that urge. I know we were changing the breath on purpose before, so that can be a hard habit to let go of. See if you can just let go. Just let the breath have its way with you. And then just notice, since we've been paying so much attention to the breath, has the mind been crowded with thoughts, or have thoughts been few and far between? And go ahead and release your hands now. If they're still on your body, release your hands to your lap. See if you can stay in tune with the breath, with the hands in your lap now. With your hands in your lap, maybe there's a sense that the whole body could expand with the breath as you breathe in. The whole body can release as you breathe out. So that the breath isn't just limited to the front of the torso, but the whole body is breathing in. The whole body is breathing out. How does that change your experience? Good. Now we're going to go in the other direction, and we're going to focus on the breath right at the tip of the nostrils. Breath coming into the nostrils. Breath going out from the nostrils. For the next few breaths, let's just keep our attention right here at the nostrils. And again, take notice of how this changes your experience of body, breath, and mind. And now you get to choose, where do you want to focus your awareness on the breath? In the belly, the chest, with the nostrils, or the whole body, breathing in and breathing out. You choose. Following the breath from the very beginning of the inhale all the way up to the top. Noticing the pause. Following the exhale from the beginning all the way to the bottom. And then notice the quality of your attention. Is it too tight? Is it too loose? Let it be nice and easy so that the awareness of the breath is there, but you're not hardening around the breath. Perhaps the breath seems to become more subtle as you breathe, as you observe the breath. Again, just let it be the way it is, the way it wants to be. One breath might feel stronger, one breath might be more subtle. One breath you're really focused in on the inhale. Maybe the next breath there's more of a sense of spaciousness. The breath is more beneath the surface. Perhaps the mind wanders and you call it back to the breath. You might become aware of other waves like thoughts, an emotion, a sensation. But underneath it all is the gentle wave of the breath, rising and falling over and over. And if another wave is present, a thought, an emotion, you can breathe with that. Breathe with the thought. Breathe into it, creating space. You can breathe with or into the emotion. You can breathe with or into a sensation.